We're going to deep dive into the data dimension of the member engagement model. The outcomes from this section determine data types, identify data sources, start data governance if you haven't already started it. So we start with data types. Fundamentally, there are two types of data. There's the structured data and the unstructured data. As association professionals, we work with member-related data every day. But perhaps most of us don't actively think about the structure of the data. This is because we typically use analysis and performance measures using data from 2 or 3 systems. Associations and membership organizations have always had rich data about their members. In fact, far more data than commercial organizations get about their customers. And so today, your organization is on a digital transformation journey, which means your organization is collecting even more member-related data. So we start with structured data. CRM, Customer Relationship Management, AMS, Association Management Software, ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, and accounting systems. These systems are all developed using a relational database, often called a SQL or SQL database. The language that these databases use, SQL, is structured query language, because data has to be structured and organized. Structured data is also transactional representations of what's actually happening in your organization. For example, in your CRM database, you would undoubtedly have first name, last name addresses. You probably have details about invoices, which would be the invoice date, the amount, the paid date or due date. You would have different types of member-related data, what type of member they are and what kind of fees you've been charging them, which events they've attended, what training courses they attended, what committees they may have joined and left, and so many other factors. These are all kept in your database as structured data. And here are a few examples of CRM, AMS systems. So this is our structured data. This is what we often think about. But what about the unstructured data? Well, unstructured data doesn't have a pattern to it. And typical unstructured data is text, audio, and video. 80% of data is actually unstructured. That's a significant amount of data. So when we are making decision and we say we use data, we need to start thinking how much data is used to influence our decision making. In your organization, maybe the ratio is a little bit different, but it will significantly be biased towards unstructured data. So what are the examples of unstructured data? Well, think about your emails. Think about your surveys. Think about all the activities in your Facebook account. Think about the webinar courses and sessions that you offer and the Q&A of the registered members that is expressed in the chat boxes or in the Q&A boxes. Think about that data. Think about the online communities and the postings and the groups. And some will have transcript of their phone calls. These are examples of unstructured data. But can we get insights from unstructured data? And if so, what would it look like? Well, your members participate in lots of exciting ways that goes beyond purchases that we measure using a CRM or billing system, using the structured data. They engage in social ways, in your Facebook, they tweet at you, they participate in your community, they fill out multiple surveys, they interact with each other at virtual events and conferences. Measuring and understanding all of that, unstructured data is actually the key to success in this digital age. Keeping in mind that unstructured data is not demographic data. It's not something we can sort or filter in our Excel spreadsheet. And it also provides significant insights into behavior of the members. So what they tell us in demographics is often different to their behavior. And that can be understood further by different types of members, early career stages versus latter career stage members. Let's look at different ways to use unstructured data and leverage it to improve performance. We can see what are the trending topics within our organization. If we look at over the past couple of years, we'll see what is it that people have been talking about. No surprise, in March, we hit the peak of the COVID crisis communications, but it actually started in January. People are talking and asking questions about coronavirus, virtual conferences, and more. So we can break these down over time to understand what are the changing needs of our membership. As soon as we get to April 2020, members aren't talking about the coronavirus anymore. They're talking about the changes that has created. We can see here a spike, and the spike you can see is a legal challenge that our members of this particular organization that we are looking at, it's about how to get out of a contract. You may have often heard about something called fast data. The concept of fast data is understanding the pulse of our members. And this is a classic example. We can see what's coming next, and we can see what needs to be done to demonstrate value. Here it is. We put the information in a newsletter that we send out to relevant members. So we are demonstrating timely communication. Next, we update our website resource section with further digital assets that can be used by our members. So that's how we can use unstructured data, but there's more. The next thing we can understand using unstructured data is sentiment analysis. These are based on conversations people have, positive, negative, neutral. What are these conversations really about? And are they creating any friction within our membership? We can run the text through a natural language processor, and the outputs can give us positive and negative sentiments. We can see what people are actually talking about. Next is, how are members connected with each other? Which members could help us actually get our message out there more quickly, more effectively? The following video is going to show you an example using association analytics, which is using unstructured data. So this is a network analysis, allowing us to see all of the members within your organization and how they connect with each other. Each of these dots are your members. Some of them are tremendous spheres of influence. These are members you can see here in the center of these circles are the power users. Whatever they say, whenever they say something, lots of people are listening. Lots of people are following that content. These little dots scattered around the ecosystem, these are important members, but right now, they're not centers of influence. The question we're trying to answer here is, if I'm looking for someone to tweet out and share that upcoming virtual event we are having, who should I ask to do that? Should I ask this person over here connected to no one, or should I target these centers of influence and get them to promote me on social media? Get them to tweet out or post about the virtual event that we're having, because I know that lots of members are going to listen to them. Understanding those centers of influence is key. Now, the challenge we have with unstructured data, or as some people refer to it as dark data, it can be really challenging to get at it and to get insights around it. But the benefit of unstructured data is to provide some of the richest and most important insights into your membership. Like, what do our members really care about? What are they really talking about right now? Are those conversations positive, negative, neutral? How do they impact other members' feelings? So putting all those pieces together helps us create better content strategy and demonstrate value to members by keeping in mind structured and unstructured data. We'll identify data sources, and after that, start data governance.